Afghan officials say Taliban enter capital, Kabul.
Here's a summary of the article.
Kabul, Afghanistan. The Taliban on Sunday seized the last major city outside of Kabul held by the country's central government, cutting off the capital to the east as helicopters began landing at the U.S. embassy there. In a nationwide offensive that has taken just over a week, the Taliban has defeated, co-opted or sent Afghan security forces fleeing from wide swathes of the country, even with some air support by the U.S. military. The militants took also Maidan Shah, the capital of Maidan Wardak, on Sunday, only some 90 kilometers from Kabul, Afghan lawmaker Hamida Akbari and the Taliban said. Despite our firm resistance, sadly, all the government and the Afghan security forces' equipment were handed over to the Taliban as a result of a big organized and cowardly plot, Noor wrote. The U.S. has continued holding peace talks between the government and the Taliban in Qatar this week, and the international community has warned that a Taliban government brought about by force would be shunned. Many Afghans fear a return to the Taliban's oppressive rule. Salima Mazari, one of the few female district governors in the country, expressed fears about a Taliban takeover Saturday in an interview from Mazar-e-Sharif, before it fell.
This post received a score of 12,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than the defense and security forces along with the international forces working for the security of Kabul city, and the situation is under control, the Afghan presidency said amid the chaos. And other hilarious jokes you can tell yourself.
The situation is under control, just not theirs.
This sounds like something the dean from Community would say.
Now I can't unsee Dean Pelton spontaneously walking into the study room in a sexy Taliban militia outfit.
The Mujahideen.
Who keeps the airport secure for the last evacuation plane that leaves? The troops from Turkey?
Well, there is an international airport in Peshawar, Pakistan that is only 240-ish miles from Kabul. Pakistan itself is only 60 miles from Kabul, and parts of Turkmenistan are 250-ish miles from Kabul. Well within the range of attack helicopters even without temporary refueling points. I am far from a tactical expert, nor do I have access to knowledge of nearby resources or temporary bases.
I'm confident that the Taliban leadership realizes that it's in their interest to let all the embassies and troops evacuate. I hope their foot soldiers do too.
If they started shooting foreign diplomats or attacked U.S. Marines at the airport, they might face significant retaliatory violence. And, we forget that the Taliban has been negotiating with the U.S. for years, meaning, the U.S. views them as a sovereign body capable of negotiating. Going back to outlaw pariah wouldn't be the best strategy after all that.
Didn't stop the Viet Cong from doing just that.
In a roundabout way, one could argue the U.S. sort of won the Vietnam War in an ideological sense, as Vietnam now has one of the most thriving market economies on the planet.
Looking forward to Afghans become the next Vietnamese in terms of social advancement and economic progression.
I think Sharia law is a little different than Vietnam's situation though.
That and Vietnam was next to the one of the fastest growing economy in Asia, the largest economy in Asia, and located in one of the most dynamic regions in the world.
It looks like the Afghan president agreed to resign today. Holy shit. Edit, source.
Greater than on the future Taliban government's policy towards women, they stated Afghan women will be allowed to leave homes alone, as well as have access to education and work. In addition, Taliban does not intend to take revenge on government and military personnel, and all those who have served the state will be forgiven, according to the spokesperson. That sounds suspiciously too good to be true. They're just doing and saying anything to gain access to power as soon as possible with the least amount of effort, which is working amazingly well.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.